Before I get into this video, I wanted to let you know that I am in no way bashing the Pokemon Company. In this video, I am only addressing the fact that the Pokemon franchise is going in a very bad direction if the current mistakes are continued. Without further ado, is the Pokemon franchise dying? Let's dive into it. There's no way in hiding how much I love the Pokemon Company, and how much it's changed my life. I mean, I've dedicated way too much of my existence pondering about the lore inside my favorite company. And if you follow my channel, well, I'm sorry for telling you the obvious. But if you don't, please consider subscribing and liking this video. I mean, I made about a total of 10 cents on my last video, so a like means more than anything at this point. In this video, I wanted to take a different approach and get out of my comfort zone to talk to you about something that's been bothering me for a long time, and it's the current downward trend in the core series Pokemon games. I really want you to think about this topic because I feel as many of us are subliminally denying it, even though it's clearly being shown in the numbers of game sales, but I'll touch on that in a second. My main issue with everything right now in the Pokemon franchise is the fact that the games are becoming mindless. Yes, I said it, mindless. And when I mean mindless, I mean easy. If I wanted to play a game that had absolutely no challenge, then I just watched somebody else play it. And to be true to my supporters and everyone watching this video, I still haven't even bought the new DLC, Isles of Armor, and to date, it's been the first thing I have ever skipped from the Pokemon Company. But Mega Teddy Ursa, why would you skip Isles of Armor? Because I feel like I wouldn't be missing out on anything, and I actually watched somebody play through it online, and to be real with you guys, I feel like I've played it because it was no challenge to them, and I really don't think it would be a challenge to me as well. Yes, I am missing out on some things, but am I really missing out on just going through a game like I'm reading a book? I want a challenge, and that's my main issue right now. And to the people who are new to the Pokemon franchise, I'm truly sorry. I seriously am. The past 7 years do not accurately describe what we stand for as Pokemon fans. And I talked about this in one of my videos about why I like Teddy Ursa, and it's the fact that we play games to be the best. But what's the point of being the best if there's no challenge? And again, I get it. Pokemon is trying to appeal to a new group of people, but I think they're missing a key factor in the games that kinda should click. I don't even have to go any further with it. Right after I tell you guys this, I'm gonna show you the numbers and then you be the judge. But let's take a look at your life. I mean, why do we learn? Why do we work? To create a life that we are proud of, and with that comes challenges and obstacles. And that's why life is interesting, because there is a challenge. It gives us a reason to be happy about what we have accomplished, and for some reason, the Pokemon Company just doesn't see that. With that example being said, there is still a prime figure in the Pokemon franchise up to date that shows this struggle, and it's no other than Ash Ketchum. I mean, how long did it take this dude to become the champion? That's legendary, that's a story, and that's what Pokemon is supposed to be. What we are experiencing is not. Okay, before I keep venting, I want to show you guys some numbers so you don't think I'm just completely bashing the Pokemon Company, because like I said, I love them. I'm not bashing them. I'm trying to bring it to light because maybe, just maybe, somebody will stumble upon this video. I doubt it, but who knows, you know, maybe it will help. So what you're seeing on your screen right now is the breakdown of Pokemon sales, and this is where I'm going to be able to show you guys the downward trend of Pokemon games and where we're at right now. So I'm going to start with Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, and Yellow. If you do not know what green is, it was actually the Japanese version of Red and Blue. I wish they would have released it, you know, here in the US, but I think what happened was they brought it back with Leaf Green. So right off the bat, Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue had 31 million copies. And I know you guys see this bold number up here, 59. That's in total. That also includes Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Even the downloadable content on the 3DS, Switch, whatever. Anything that had to do with those games is included there, but we're looking at this 31 million sales. That was the core series Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue. And these games in the middle, like Yellow, the expansions, or even Fire Red and Leaf Green, the remakes, they never do well, which is something else I'm going to talk about and something that I think could actually help the Pokemon Company. But let's move on to Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. For Gold, Silver, and Crystal, there were 23 million copies sold for the original Gold and Silver, and then you see a drop as it goes into Crystal, and then Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because naturally that is how it works with the expansions. Like I said, Ruby and Sapphire only got 16 million copies sold, which is actually surprising to me because that was one of my favorites and a lot of people came in at that time. Now as we go into Diamond and Pearl, you see 17 million. I know people are getting older, but again, you got to remember they came out with a new console, a handheld. It was the DS, so everybody wanted to try it. Then we moved into Pokemon Black and White. They had a great storyline and it got 15 million sales. And then we got into X and Y, 16 million, Pokemon Sun and Moon 16 million, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee 11 million, and then Pokemon Sword and Shield 17 million. I know what you guys are thinking. They've steadily, stayed on this, not even an increase, but 10 million to 20 million. But here's where my problem comes in. When you're looking at Pokemon Sword and Shield, you need to take into consideration that this is the first game that was ever on a console. So this is the first Pokemon game that ever jumped onto a console, and even though they hit record numbers with 17 mil and people were shocked, I think we should have seen more numbers sold on Pokemon Sword and Shield considering it was on a console. Now, I understand not everybody could get a console and stuff like that, but still, Pokemon Sword and Shield only sold 17 million copies, and here's the problem. The games weren't that great. I wouldn't play them again unless I was shiny hunting or doing something like waiting for downloadable content, which leads me into something that I wanted to talk about. Pokemon is going to die if they keep shitting, and I'm gonna say it, yeah, shitting these games out. Every year, a new Pokemon game comes out, whether it's a remake or a new series. I think that needs to stop. As much as I would like to see Diamond and Pearl come out, that is an issue because it's going to take away from the new Pokemon game and the new Pokemon. But right now, what they need to focus on and to bring people back to the franchise is something new, and that is why we are on this downward trend, because I am telling you, and I'm going to predict it, I'm no wizard, but I can tell you right now that these next games coming out are not going to do well. They're not going to do well. Nothing has changed, and the games are getting easier and easier, and personally, me being a Pokemon fan, I will buy it because I do support the company, but how many people are not going to buy it because they're just tired of it and they're bored of it and they don't care because it's the same thing over and over? And I know they tried with their Dynamaxing and whatever, but they need to do something more drastic, and that's why I think they need to cut out these little games in between. So do I think that game sales have dropped solely from the difficulty of these games? No, I do not. But obviously issues like the national dex and just the age shift of players for sure plays a huge part as well, and this is going to lead into the downward trend that we are going to see. But with that being said, if you are a true gamer, good games never get old. Like myself, I'm going to continue to buy Pokemon games just because I am a true fan. But if you take a look at games like Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart, put it on the screen right now, you see an incline. You do not see them being stagnant. You see a steady incline in these games because they are a challenge. Whether you play online or not, they keep you coming back because they give you that reason to be the best. If you remember the old Pokemon games, they were a challenge, they were hard, they made you train, they didn't give you EXP share, and there was something called EV and IV training. For those of you people who don't know about it, you actually had to earn, learn, and grind. That rhymed. I did not mean to do that. Wow, that whole thing rhymed, and it made players keep coming back for more, which is something that I've learned similarly in my YouTube experience, and I think it parallels my message. What I'm referring to is my videos watch time. What makes a video do good here on YouTube is interaction. By the way, like I said before, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Seriously helps. But it's not only those two interactions that make a video perform well. It also depends on if you watch the whole video again, or if you pause, or if you rewind the video. But the only reason why you would do something like that is because you found value in the content and you actually enjoyed the video. And like I said before, I'm not going to go back and replay Sword. I'm not going to go back and replay Shield unless I'm looking for a shiny. But I have played Pokemon Red, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Heart Gold many times over, and I still find myself jumping back to them every once in a while. So enough problems with the Pokemon company. I want to share some things that I personally think could bring them to some green. One thing I would love to see in a Pokemon game is a difficulty setting. I think this would be a happy medium to make everybody happy right when you enter the game. You know, when you pick your language, they also have an easy, medium, intermediate, and then expert. This way, if you're a seasoned Pokemon player, you can go in there and say, okay, I'm gonna grind, I want to work hard, and you pick it. Because I am a Pokemon game maker, I've made Pokemon Indigo League, I can tell you this would not be hard. It would be as simple as one script, but because they're constantly pumping out these games, they don't even have time to put in a difficulty level, which would change everything. You just level up the Pokemon either to the player, which they try to do with these new Isle of Armor, or they just level up depending on the level that you chose. So if it's expert, they just have a higher level gap between gyms or between stadiums, whatever the heck they're going to do on the next game. Another thing that I would love to see is training for moves. I mean, we don't really have EV or IV training anymore. anymore now that you can use protein and buy stuff at the battle tower now. I wish we could train moves like they do in the anime. In the anime, you have to learn a move. A Pokemon has to learn a move. And I think a cool competitive new aspect of the game would be actually training one move specifically so that you can actually grow that move's power or just get more accuracy or whatever it's going to do. I think that would be something else we can add to keep people playing, to keep people amused, because that's what we need nowadays. And the list goes on and on. There are thousands of things that the Pokemon franchise or company can do to make these games more interesting, but I'm going to leave that to you because, look, I want to hear what you guys think, if you think I'm just a crazy guy on the end of a mic, or if you guys do actually believe in what I'm saying, because I feel like we're going in a bad direction if we continue. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you hate me right now, I'm sorry, but like I said, I love the Pokemon company. I just want to bring these things to light, and as always, Pokemon fans, take it easy and peace out.
Make a 10. Subscribe.